So, all right, we're going to get to the Beyonce stuff. But before we get to that, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It's very important. We got to hit the algorithm. Lately, none of the videos have been hitting the algorithm. And that's okay. Sometimes this YouTube thing, sometimes it's a process. And, with me having the type of content I have, which is criticisms of black culture. A lot of times I'm not critical of just black culture. I'm just kind of critical, period. But, a lot of blacks don't like criticism of black culture. They think, oh, if you're a black man and you criticize the black community, you're some kind of a coon. But we're never going to do better without criticism. So let's get in the algorithm. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Share the video. I say that after every video, but if you say it after every video, sometimes it kind of loses its meaning over time. But I sincerely mean it. Like, subscribe, share. Actually like the video. Make a comment, even if it's, "Hey, woke, I hated the video. It was horrible." That helps. That helps. Give me some constructive criticism. What do you think I could do to make the channel better? That would be appreciated. A lot of people say, well, you should start editing your videos. I've never really been much of a video editor. I mean, if it's gonna make me if it's gonna make me hit the algorithm and help the channel out, then maybe I will start editing. Do you want to start seeing edited videos? Let me know that in the comment section. The engagement has just been very low here lately. And I'm not bitter about it because, sometimes I see other people's channel and I see how their channel's blowing up and my channel isn't. And I do get a little bit jealous. But I have to understand, I actually have the right message. I'm one of the only people on YouTube telling the truth. Everybody else is lying to you. All right? Everybody else is lying except for me. And so make sure you do that. Let's hit the algorithm. Let's make the black community great again. All right. So if you haven't heard this story, it's very true. It's a very true story. Trump just might lock up Beyoncé for this. He just might lock up Beyoncé for this. And, I love how Trump is now going after his political opponents. I love it. Now, a lot of people may say, oh, well, that's not the American way to go after your political opponents. How dare he? How dare he go after his political opponents? Do you motherfuckers not remember like 2-3 years ago when Trump was literally being locked up? Remember this? A lot of Democrats gloated over this. Remember this? A lot of Democrats gloated over, they were all over Twitter. Yeah, Trump just got arrested. Remember Trump got arrested? He actually got arrested. In jail, mugshot, processed, fingerprinted, in a freaking jail. And Democrats were gloating over it. My aunt, who I love to death, okay? I'm not saying this as to bash my aunt. I love my entire family. My family, they're all amazing people. But my aunt, who has Trump derangement syndrome, actually sent me this text message back in 2023, and I always go back and I look at this sometimes. She sent me Trump's mugshot as a, your man got arrested, your boy got arrested, your boy's in jail. Even though Trump isn't necessarily my boy, I don't agree with everything Trump does, but she just absolutely has an utter hatred for Trump. And she sent me this mugshot, and I laughed at it. And I said, and these are my words. My words are in the blue. I said, this is gonna backfire big time for those prosecutors, especially after he wins re-election. And this is what she said back. She said, how is it gonna backfire? First of all, he's not gonna win. Second, he's got too much to worry about. He won't even have time to deal with an election. Third of all, even if he wins, he's gonna be in jail. LOL. Oh my aunt, I almost said that age like fine milk. And I said his popularity gains with each indictment. The fact he's being targeted like this lets a lot of people know how corrupt the system is, and a lot of people see this as a partisan hit job. I'd rather have a jailed Trump than a free Biden. That's what I said. And she says, Jesus, I love you so much, Jalen. but this is disappointing. This literally hurts me. And she actually means that. If I was like some person on the street and not her nephew, she definitely would have been close to like pulling out a knife or shooting me or something like that. Like my aunt absolutely hates Trump. But I'm not posting this text message to make fun of my aunt. This kind of gives you an idea of the zeitgeist at the time. The spirit of the times back circa August 2023. Trump freshly arrested, freshly the mugshot. Everybody's making fun of him. Nobody thought he had a chance. Even Ron DeSantis on the Republican side seized this opportunity to start his campaign and run for president. Kind of sickening. Nobody saw the writing on the wall. But now it's backfiring because Trump is coming after not only Beyonce. I titled the video after Beyonce. But he's not only coming after Beyonce, he's also coming after Bruce Springsteen, Oprah, Bono, and a number of other celebrities. He made this post on Truth Social. Can we find the post? Here's the post. All right. Trump said, "How much did Kamala Harris pay Bruce Springsteen for his poor performance during her campaign for president? Why did he accept that money if he is such a fan of hers? Isn't that a major illegal campaign contribution? What about Beyonce? And how much went to Oprah and Bono? I'm going to call for a major investigation into this matter." Do you hear that? Trump said, this is his post on Truth Social. He's going to call for a major investigation into Beyonce, into Oprah, into Bono, into Springsteen. All of these celebrities. Nobody cared when the judicial system was being used to attack Trump. When Fani Willis locked up Trump, look at how that is absolutely backfired. Fani Willis is now under investigation. I just think this is so amazing. But let's finish. Candidates aren't allowed to pay for endorsements, which is what Kamala Harris did under the guise of paying for entertainment. In addition, this was very expensive. This was a very expensive and desperate effort to artificially build up sparse crowds. It's not legal for these unpatriotic entertainers. This was just a corrupt and unlawful way to capitalize on a broken system. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So, according to President Trump, there's about to be an investigation on Kamala Harris, Bono, Bruce Springsteen, Beyonce, and Oprah. I hope he I hate all of them. I hope he locks all of them up. And what's amazing to me about this is that liberals, even if you look at Twitter now, liberals will say, this is fascism. This is a fascist president. This is unconstitutional. Going after his political opponents. And it just amazes me that they don't see the sheer hypocrisy in that. Like I said earlier, Fani Willis locked up Trump. Remember Fani Willis? She was the one that prosecuted Trump in Georgia for, I don't even remember what it was for now. It wasn't the January 6th thing. That got dropped. But, she had a whole fiasco and her personal life ended up coming to the forefront. She's giving her, she employed her boyfriend and gave him millions of taxpayer dollars, or probably hundreds of thousands. And they used that to go on these lavish trips, lavish vacations. She's corrupt as hell. It came out she was corrupt as hell. He should investigate Fani Willis. I think that would be a great investigation. And then the other one up in Georgia, the other black woman, Letitia James, she successfully prosecuted Trump, almost bankrupted Trump for hundreds of millions of dollars. This had never been done in the history of the state of New York. She prosecuted him on the equivalent of misfiling paperwork. Misfiling paperwork in order to, I guess she said, he didn't actually defraud the government for, to get away with not paying taxes. It was for loan purposes. I don't know. It's really complex financial stuff. I don't even know what it's about. That's how much of a nothing burger it was. Letitia James literally ran saying, I will prosecute Trump. Ran on the mantle of prosecuting Trump. Prosecuted Trump, won in court. Trump literally almost lost Trump Tower in New York. Had to pay hundreds of millions of dollars. Just a whole legal fiasco. And now it's come out on Letitia James, or Letitia Jones, whatever it is. I think it's Letitia James. Now it's come out about Letitia James that she actually did defraud. She defrauded the government. She misrepresented how big her home was so she could get pay a smaller number on her taxes, pay a smaller amount in taxes. She lied saying that she was married to her father. This is literally on paperwork. Letitia James, the black lady who tried to prosecute Trump, she lied on paper. Her and her father saying they were married to each other, some type of weird incest, in order to get a family tax break for a property she bought in New York. And so I just love how this is backfiring. And it is sickening. It is sickening because they went after Trump for literally everything. Joe Biden literally had the DOJ raid Mar-a-Lago, go into Trump's home, go into his private area, and just start taking things, ransacked his home. And they want to talk about going after your political opponents. Democrats started this stuff a long time ago. And I'm glad that Trump is not playing Mr. Nice Guy. Because if they can do it, why can't he? Now, I feel like after this Trump turn, after he locks all of them up, I think we should stop playing that game. Because, who wants to live in a country where, you get locked up just because you didn't support someone? I think it's wrong on both sides, but I love the fact that Trump is doing it because they started this mess. They started it. But yeah, Beyonce, in the end, she may be the one that gets locked up for it. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So yeah. I was also going to talk about, how desperate Kamala was during the election cycle. Look, she went on RuPaul. This was Kamala just absolutely desperate. I wonder how much she paid these homosexuals for the RuPaul appearance. She paid Meg the Stallion. Here's Meg the Stallion. Look, I don't know. Why do black women do that tongue thing? You see the black women in the photos, they'll stick their tongue out. Yeah. She got on stage twerking. Embarrassing. Here's RuPaul. Look, he doesn't even look like a real person. But this is who she courted an endorsement for. And the endorsement, whenever Oprah endorsed Kamala Harris, Oprah actually lied about it at first. Lied about getting a campaign contribution. Oprah actually got $1 million from the Kamala Harris campaign rally. And like Trump said, if you actually like this person, if you're actually a Kamala Harris supporter, why does she have to pay you millions of dollars? She paid Beyonce somewhere in the sum of like $11 million. $11 million for a campaign endorsement. Totally illegal. This is what Oprah said. Oprah has publicly denied that she was paid large sums, specifically $1 million, by the Kamala Harris presidential campaign for hosting a town hall event. Now, Oprah publicly denied it. Oprah stated, when asked by TMZ, she said, the claim is not true, okay? I was paid nothing, ever. Those are Oprah's words, in no uncertain terms, by the witch herself, Oprah. She says, not true, okay? I was paid nothing, ever. Well, the Kamala Harris has to report what they're spending their campaign finances on. This stuff has to be reported. And it actually came out that Kamala Harris paid Harpo Studios, which is Oprah's production company, $1 million. Now, they later tried to explain it away and say, no, that $1 million, that was to finance an episode, the Kamala Harris episode on Harpo Productions. You mean $1 million to just simply get on camera and say, hey, I support Kamala? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. And I have to clarify, according to campaign finance laws, it's not illegal to pay for an endorsement. Nothing wrong with paying for an endorsement. However, when you misrepresent what the money is for, like if I'm running for president and I want to pay for your endorsement, I have to specify that this money that I'm giving you is specifically for an endorsement. That has to be full disclosure, in no uncertain terms. But what the Kamala Harris campaign did is she would pay Beyonce $11 million, and she wouldn't say it's specifically for an endorsement. She'd pay Oprah $1 million, and she wouldn't say that it was specifically for an endorsement. She'd say, oh, well, this is actually for entertainment. I'm actually paying, these are production costs that the campaign is paying Oprah, when it's just not true. Those are definitely campaign finance violations. Illegal. So, for them to be petty with Trump during Joe Biden's entire time in office, I have no problem with this. Lock Beyonce up. Gosh, I'm just so glad we dodged this Kamala Harris bullet. I'm so glad God, look at Meg Thee Stallion. But yeah, lock Beyonce the witch up. Lock her up. I hope he actually does it. But nonetheless, let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. And remember to like, subscribe, share, and as always, stay woke.